Justina, thank you so much for joining us on Social Impact Power Chats. We're delighted to have you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so because this is a high power chat, we're just going to jump right in. Tell us how you got into this beautiful world of social impact.
Well, when I think about my background, I was likely on a journey around social impact from my very early days. So I went to college, studied mechanical engineering, and then when I graduated, I actually started working at a company where I was working on making sure radioactive fluid did not seep into the environment. So that was one of my first engineering jobs. I
Very
didn't connect it
impactful.
to social impact at the time, but really that's what it was, right? And making sure that we were being a responsible company. And then over time, I moved into it more strategically from moving into product development, focusing on how do I continue to increase the quality of our products at Verizon, one of the companies that I worked for previously, and eventually moving into the corporate social responsibility space there, where I focused on how do we leverage Verizon's products and services to have a positive impact in society. And then at IBM, I'm doing the same thing. Really, how do we use our expertise, our resources, our products, and making sure that we are driving impact in our communities globally? So very much aligned with, my passion and my background from engineering to designing programs to leading a team.
Amazing. So you lead, just to bring us to present, you lead this social impact team at IBM, which is amazing. You touched on, you're responsible for programming, for how to do, product integration, all of these things. If you could just give us the elevator, 3 sentences, and just give us like one click deeper. What does social impact look like at IBM, and what's the work that you're responsible for in a nutshell?
Social impact overall is how do we use IBM's resources to drive a positive impact in our communities? And that really means leveraging all of the expertise of IBM, all of the resources of IBM, partnering with nonprofit organizations who are closer to those communities, with governments, with universities, and really providing them access to skilling programs and sustainability programs that could really, really impact and support vulnerable communities and underrepresented communities. So that is in a nutshell, the work that my team leads globally.
Amazing. Okay, so let's move from nutshell to, pearl of wisdom. One of the things that we ask all of our guests is to share just an example of a program or an effort that you have built that you think is really successful and just embodies what social impact should be on our best day. And give us a little bit of the secret sauce. Help us understand how that happened. So, for the folks listening at home, they could potentially take inspiration from that in their own roles.
Yeah, so a couple years ago, and I joined IBM around 3 years ago. And, after I started, I realized that IBM had such rich products and services. And we work with clients, of course, we sell those products. And I thought, why aren't we leveraging those products in society? How are we not partnering with nonprofits and making sure that we support vulnerable communities? And there was such a focus on sustainability across our company anyway. So one of the things that we did was create a program called the Sustainability Accelerator. And that's really around how do we take advantage of the data analytics, the geospatial analytics, all of the data that we had in the around weather, and how do we use all of that data to help communities that are being impacted by climate change and environmental threats. So we worked across the business. We got leaders on board. Again, this was such an important topic for IBM, but also for IBMers. So it's, when it's important and it's a part of your culture and you have employees who care about the environment, care about what's happening in society, it is much easier to be able to get that buy-in. So we worked with leaders. We were able to get access to those platforms for free using our partnerships. We brought them into our IBM Garage, the same process we use for clients, nothing different. We bring them into our garage. We do design thinking with them, user-centered approach. We help those nonprofits iterate on their solutions and incorporate our platforms, our data, our solutions, and we help them implement those programs in vulnerable communities. And one of the most important things about social impact is that you have to build in measurement and evaluation upfront. You need to know that these programs are working, that they're having an impact, and that's what we did as well. And that means we can go back to those leaders and say, let's demonstrate for you case studies. Let's demonstrate that we are having an impact. Let's demonstrate how our products are having a positive impact in those communities. So that's really sort of the secret sauce. And to be able to do that, you need teams that understand program development. You need teams that understand how to engage with leaders externally and internally. And you need teams that could actually move through the whole measurement and evaluation process as well.
Brilliant. Well, I will co-sign everything that you just said. I feel like I was listening to a recording of my own, advice, which I love. And just to underscore, not everybody works at a place as big as IPM. Not everybody has, the scale that you all have, but the big idea of taking what is core to the business, what is your expertise, and helping to deploy it alongside philanthropic dollars or volunteerism or whatever, I think any company can do. And I imagine you would feel the same.
100%. And I love that you brought this up because, even as we think about our focus on AI, we bring AI into our programs because this is the strategy of our business. We
Yes.
bring cloud into our programs because this is the strategy of our business. So any successful philanthropic program has to align with your business strategy. That's the first step. And then you have to bring in your employees. Volunteerism has to be a big part of it. We have so many IBMers who are passionate and want to share their expertise with nonprofits, with communities. So bringing in our IBMers is critical as well. And then, of course, building capacity in our nonprofits through cash grants where it makes sense. We do that as well. So all of those are successful pieces for the program.
Well, it's brilliant. And it's why you have so many admirers on the sideline, including me and Ethos. So, we're in power chat mode. I can't believe it, but we're already at our last question, which is, we could talk all day, but, the last one is really leaving with a future forward lens. You've done, so much already, but what do you see happening on the horizon, whether it be within your own organization or more broadly in social impact, that you're excited to have come down the pike?
Yeah, I think the space of social impact is evolving very quickly, believe it or not. First of all, technology is accelerating very quickly. So you need to understand how technology can make a difference. So I'm always upskilling myself, my team, same thing. We're always making sure we understand what are these new technologies, not just what the negative impact may be on those communities, but how can we change that? How do we make sure that we use those technologies to have a positive impact and support these communities? So I think it's very important to understand what are the new technologies, how do you create the right partnerships to really drive impact, and then just really staying on the evolution of social impact, right? There's so many pieces to it. There's so many ways you can support it. How do you create a focused strategy and align with your business and make sure that you are delivering not just what the communities need, but what your business needs as well? So I think that's the future of where this is going.
Well, brilliant. I mean, you already are living the future. Everything that you just described is where so many of us, including me, believe this work is headed. So thank you for all that you do. And we hope that this advice lands with the right people and provides some inspiration across the ecosystem. So really appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, thank you. Just my complete pleasure. Thank you.